times Jimmy about the ISO. And the fact is, look, they all look like, bro, we really don't want to be here right now. I would be disappointed if a fight don't break out because Jimmy's gonna fight. I don't know what these other dudes gonna do. They might do like the old white high school movies do and just do a headlock or a shut.
Like this might be like a major league situation where they fight their own damn team. Like the Spurs just might be sitting there looking at them like, can you believe this? Like we thought we had problems with Kawhi, and this nigga coming to the practice like that, and he was trying to get out. But Minnesota, I got some footage of Minnesota telling Jimmy Butler they're not going to trade him. You ready for it?
Is that from Tales in the Hood?
Nah, that's from Don't Be a Menace.
Oh, yeah. In the back of the truck. I was like, that sounds like Tales from the Hood. Same era. That's hilarious. I should know that. I've seen that movie way too many times. I should know that.
Hello?
Yeah, you back?
Yeah, for some reason I dipped out. So, yeah, just in case y'all don't know what they told him, we're just going to play that again for y'all real quick. One real time. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves reacting to Jimmy Butler's temper tantrum about trying to get traded. That's it.
That's definitely right. And that's more so Coach Tibbs saying that. Everybody else like, fuck it, let him go. We want to be able to play Gunna all day.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear goddamn rock and roll. I'm trying to think some Tim McGraw song, whatever Jimmy all day.
Oh, Jimmy probably on his Luke Bryan, his Shawn Mendes life right now. He probably got a little Faith Hill queued up. You know.
What if that's the whole thing behind this argument? It's just the whole thing is like we just tired of him playing music we don't want to hear.
It might be.
That's it.
It might be. Like the wild thing about the Jimmy Butler situation is I don't think Jimmy Butler is annoying because I haven't hung out with him, but we overlook the fact that like NBA players get to be themselves a lot more than anyone else in any other sport. And
right.
when you just let a bunch of dudes be themselves, niggas can get annoying. So
right, and a lot of them are kind of just like I wouldn't say no personality, but they just don't like people. And I could kind of understand that because when you 6'7" your whole life, you like, bro, how many times can I talk?
Yeah. There's that. And I mean, this might be a mutual thing where they annoyed. Like you said, he up here bumping country music. We know Karl Anthony Towns, a hip hop fan. He probably out here trying to play Kodak. Andrew Wiggins, I don't know what Andrew Wiggins likes to do. I have no clue.
He definitely listens to. He definitely a Kodak guy. I would say he a Kodak guy more than Cat.
Yeah, like.
And he Canadian too, so you know he's trying to find all the popular rap.
That's true. It's true. But
what if Cat just like a '90s backpack?
No, he's not.
Like '90s.
He is definitely not.
I only said that because he's from Jersey.
Yeah, see, nah. Like it would be hilarious if all he listened to was Redman and Naughty by Nature, but
then I would be more than Jimmy than they being scared at Jimmy.
Yeah, but the wild thing is like, so imagine this is just over who gets to control the playlist. Like, you know, Jimmy over here like, hey man, I'm trying to put on this country now. And Cat and Wiggins is over here like, nigga, we trying to hear Juice WRLD. And that's the
I'm
argument.
actually trying to listen tomorrow.
Yeah. And, you know, Jimmy Butler over here trying to play "Lock Them Doors and Turn the Lights." That one, and they're like, "Yo, that's what you fucking to? That's what you fucking to?"
I mean, the whole like we don't need to get into this. That man is like that's why you never typecast people, especially their upbringing. This man should be definitely the state lines. This is what I'm gonna play right now. When I'm going through it, play Florida State lines.
Yeah, like this man should just be playing DMX all the time. But
Right. Hopefully not slipping because as much as I love X and as much as I love slipping, I can't listen to that every single day, bro.
that's 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 an emotional song to deal with, man. Like
Very much.
like there was a
Like,
go ahead.
say real quick, dark songs in hip hop. I mean, shit. Mob Deep, fucking album. The most famous album they have. One of the greatest albums ever. And I can't think of the name right now just because. But the one that has Shook Ones.
The Infamous?
Yeah, I can't think of the name right now. I know the name. I got the album. It's one of my favorite albums ever. I just couldn't think of it.
It's called
But with them, that was a dark album too.
Huh?
And that was a dark album, and these are from like 21-year-olds.
Yeah. But I mean, they grew up through the 80s, but also it's an interesting thing with that DMX Slippin' song because that DMX Slippin' song is not just dark, but it's also a really sad song, which is something a lot of like people who make dark hip hop don't like. Hip hop doesn't make a lot of sad songs because they don't. Well, they don't let rappers don't want to be that type of emotional. Like even the emotions we have in hip hop currently is a much more like resentful type of emotion than like I'm just sad. That makes sense?
Absolutely, because where we are right now, the young boys are just making like basically emo. Like I'm upset. Like I use drugs. I actually use drugs. Like they not playing. Like and once again, that goes back to what we talked about prior to coming on air is the conversation with Joe Budden. It's kind of like they came from an era where it's like, don't do it. You don't get high on your own supply. And then now they like, we actually doing it. The young boys are actually doing it, and they upset about doing it.
Yeah.
And they sound more fun. They like Uzi verse music is dark, but it sounds very fun.
Well,
you can't go up to it slipping.
Well, the thing is also there's just a certain group of people who, when they make sad music, it's a little too effective. Like, there's a difference between Cudi making like Man on the Moon, the Man on the Moon albums, and then hip hop's biggest Trump supporter making the album After Graduation.
And you know what? He might not be hip hop's biggest supporter of Trump. He might be the biggest supporter.
He might be.
That man is Flavor Flav right now to his Chuck D.
Well, there's that, but you know what I mean about the Cudi thing versus him. Like Cudi's music was sadder, but it was also more cathartic in certain ways. Like it allowed you to release a level of sadness that other sad songs don't. Like a good example of this was I remember I was talking about what are like some sad rock songs, and I was like, wasn't like the quintessential one like Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones? And he's like, yeah, that's the saddest one I could think of, and that's not the saddest song. He put me on to like there's a whole, bringing it back to Jimmy Butler, there's a whole subgenre of just like sad country. like decades and decades
Yeah.
before emo rock existed, before the Cure or the Smiths existed. There was just these songs where it was just really sad and tragic stuff, and it was
Oh yeah.
like, I don't know, it was wild.
No, Hank Williams Sr. That's basically his whole discography. Like
Yeah,
those songs. And the thing is, he really lived it. He might have been the first first artist that actually was living what he was writing. You know how he passed away and all that. The man had the Percocets, the Molly Percocets back then.
yeah.
So he had it back then, and that's how he left. So
then,
he was actually living his music.
yeah, and then there was like Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline and I mean Dolly Parton and all them. They made sad songs. And you think like country is all this fun hillbilly shit, and it's like, nah, man. A lot of old country sounded a lot like had a lot to do with like some DMX records.
Right. They just had a banjo.
Yeah. Like if you are a DMX fan, you might, or a Tupac fan, you might really like some old school country music just for the lyricism. Not like they got bars, but just what they talking about.
And a lot about how I have about a couple subjects, which is true, but at the same time, most music genres gonna have a couple subjects. That's why I can listen to country music in spurts. I can't listen to it all damn day because I'm like, bruh,
Yeah,
somebody was getting lynched to this shit, so I can't listen to it all day.
yeah. There is that.
That's what it kind of play. Like you a black dude, like man, that shit right.
But then
You
you
like,
got
I know.
like someone was like someone's house was getting shot up to Who's That Lady?
Oh, what was that tweet that you showed me? Oh, it was a while ago when they talked about how like 60s and 70s singers was like doing dope and what, and it was like songs like that, the R&B.
Yeah.
Like think about this: if you got a grandfather that did crime, he was up here shooting niggas up to love and happiness.
Yeah. Your great grandfather was getting jumped to Wallop Baba Dooba. Like that's what they got beat up to.
I don't know why I just thought about like a movie scene there at an outhouse or a bar, and they fight. Come on, Jenny.
Like you see those Scorsese movies where they just start beating someone up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about. Somebody getting stolen.
Like it do a montage. You getting hit with a stool, a bottle, a knife, a bat, a foot, and it's on point. He's like, you don't want to get your ass beat to that type of rhythm.
But that's all they had. Like, and this is before rock. This is before we got electric guitars in rock. So it was like you getting beat to something slow. Like you getting beat your ass to the Temptation Silent Night.
Yeah. You was getting stumped out to Earth Angel.
Oh fuck that. That's just at that point, that's embarrassing then.
Yeah.
Like, of course nobody gonna play that now out loud, probably. Like, I don't know what age demographic, unless you're a hipster that's gonna play that out loud.
Anybody who listens to Art LeBeau definitely plays Earth Angel.
You gonna play it out loud? You really gonna play it to your speakers?
Yeah. The motherfuckers, like people who love the Art LeBeau show, all they do is play those slow doo-woppy group songs.
That'd be wild. You just come out of work and you just hear somebody Angel like blasting on the new sub system. They got a Bose speaker in their car because they got a good ass sound system, and that's blaring through. But how did they record that on like on 8-inch?
I don't know. They got like 3 tracks on that old tape.
That's all that could fit.
Yeah.
Like, but each song was like 10 minutes each. So it was like you got an EP. It's 3 songs on this EP. Because each song is 10 minutes. And you got a full-length album.
The cool part is when the band get quiet, it's not them turning the volume down on the band. It's just the band really playing softer.
Right. Hey, can you flip that track over? Can you flip the tape over? This big ass round tape. Can you flip it over? We got to keep playing though, because if we stop, you know what I mean, we may not be able to get the power back up to record.
Yeah, it was wild. But the thing is, that's the best shit to play when you got a system because they had speakers. Like, I mean, not speakers, but they had instruments. Like,
Right.
it like a guitar and those drums just sound different than a drum machine. No disrespect to a drum machine, because drum machines, like, I know I love hip hop,
Right.
but it's like when you listen to the Roots and when you hear Questlove's drums hit, the drum, you might not even like the drum pattern as much as you like another place, but it's just the fact that the way those drums hit.
Anybody that does not like Questlove drum pattern on any Roots song, you gotta stop just listening to hip hop. And
Yeah.
I'm not one of those dudes like, oh well, if you don't listen to it, you don't know shit. The Roots did all that life, and Black Thought stayed on beat and was still a hell of. Tells you a lot about them as a group and Black Thought individually.
Yeah, and
like that was the dope. Well, that was like the era of like what the kids consider now woke. They were doing woke albums, but it was actually fire.
Yeah. But the wild shit now is like, so we're sampling like songs from the 90s and the 2000s. So we're sampling songs that have drum patterns that were sampled from other songs. Like this started with Ye. Like, remember when he was talking about
Explosive?
Yeah, biting the drums off of Explosive.
And his drums are still bad, being Kanye's.
Yeah. Hip hop's biggest drum supporter has always had terrible. Like, he's never been able to make drums hit the right way, and that's when
until he got with Jeff Braze or whatever his name is.
That's the thing is, like, you notice all of a sudden he made supposedly the best produced album of all time the moment he got with people that knew how to mix and make drums hit. Like, it's not crazy. It's not that it was bad. Like, early on, he had John Bryan, and John Bryan helped him with melody and like really powerful, not I guess melodies, because I don't want to say jingles, but like you remember those melodies from late registration really clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to Dark Fantasy, you hear Devil in the New Dress, and you're like, yo, he just let Bink do everything on that song.
Basically arrange it, everything.
Yeah, because it was just like, and you just heard like it just, those drums just hit differently on that album than they do anywhere else. And that's why, like, can you imagine if the drums really hit on Drive Slow right?
Bro, that would have took it. It's already at a level. It would take it to a whole another level.
Yeah, like, can you imagine if the drums hit right on Crack Music?
Yeah, and those two songs, the sample carried it. That's exactly why the drums hit, because he sampled the drums from most of those songs. His Drive Slow, I got it. It was a jazz song. I can't think of it right now.
That's, this is why we're big Neptune stands, because Pharrell is a drummer, so all his drums always hit.
I thought that was Chad that was a drummer.
No, Chad is the guitarist.
That's right, and he know how to play keyboard. Well, they both know how to play keyboard, but
yeah, but their specialty instrument is, and Pharrell knows how to play the guitar, and Chad knows how to play the drums. I believe it's just like Pharrell is the better drummer, Chad is the better guitar player.
We saw that in Fly or Die, which is my favorite album of all time.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, like, just hearing those drums, like, is the rumor true that Questlove was the drummer on Maybe, though?
I never heard that rumor. This is my first time hearing it.
I heard that Questlove was like, he did the breakdown. I don't know if that's true, but it's like,
we can research it. I could do that. I got a computer in front of me, but let me see. But if it's just a rumor, we're gonna hear it various reasons, and that's one of those 90s, 2000s hip hop rumors where the internet wasn't cracking back then, so it's like it's just gonna stay a rumor, sort of.
Yeah, like this and that. But We didn't have a wiki.
We didn't have the wiki kids, so we just had to guess. That's one of those wild rumors. What was like the rumors from like the 90s and the 2000s? Because
Remember,
we
like
didn't.
Chris Tucker had like everybody always had AIDS. Chris Tucker had AIDS. There were a lot of Missy rumors. Like Missy and Timberland were married. Missy had a baby. Like that's why she had to make Gossip Folks.
The TMZ rumors.
Yeah, like she had to make like no one had more, or at least no one felt a certain way about their rumors more than Missy because she made Gossip. Like the rumors she felt were getting so ridiculous that she made a hit song out of them.
Yeah, when she wasn't making freaky songs, she'll make other songs, and it'll still go.
Yeah,
It'll still be a great song. But
yeah.
that song is one of Ludacris's greatest verses ever.
Oh yeah, stepping in the booth smelling like Burberry cologne. Like it.
Ludacris, I get loud like Timmy. Had to clear these rumors. I got a headache, and it's not a tumor. Like I know that whole verse at the top of my head.
Like, yo, it was, and this was an underrated thing. Did anybody other than Jay and Missy snap on Timberland beats the way Ludacris does?
Because
didn't he, what's the
Justin?
Timberland? But I'm talking about.
If you're talking about rapping, yeah, I'm trying Magoo.
Yeah, Magoo was cool. Magoo was good on him, but I'm just trying to think. Like, you know what's funny? We completely stopped talking about the NBA.
Well, right now, just all ball control. I mean, Spurs basketball right now, they giving it to LaMarcus because they said they want to run the offense through him, and DeMar is like basically playing point. So,
oh, okay.
It's basically right now. It's basically the Spurs playing Spurs basketball and don't have the pieces, and they still make it work. And we know that Coach Pop is a genius. That's all that's going on.
Okay, because I'm here with the Hornets. The Rockets Pelicans game.
Mm-hmm.
They just showed a close up of Daryl Morey sweating out here because the Pelicans putting that work on him right now.
Well, and I think he got like a thyroid issue or something.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know if that's accurate. Maybe we just started rumors.
Yeah.
By the way, that rumor with maybe is actually facts because it's on Wikipedia. You know, Wikipedia never lies. Lenny Kravitz did the guitar and Questlove on the drums.
Okay, cool.
And that makes a lot of sense with that guitar because that man really, really was like, I'm gonna try. And I'm not knocking him because thou have many tried, thou have many failed, if not all, to do the Jimi Hendrix riffs. There's not a human being on this planet that's living or ever lived that'll be able to do Jimi Hendrix riffs.
No. Like, you know how cold Jimi Hendrix is? We haven't even found someone to challenge him.
At all.
Like
even when he was alive, we couldn't find nobody.
Yeah, like we bring up a lot of people who are like these technical marvels, but like it's almost like kind of like, you know, oh, this wrestler is a great worker, but can they entertain the crowd?
Right.
Like it's kind of the. I hate to use him as an example, so I'll leave him. I'm not going to mention him by name, but there's a certain wrestler. I'm going to send it to you, the name, in the chat. That he can sell, he can work, he can do all the things you need to do, but he's just boring.
Yeah, I just saw it too. I'm glad I brought it down for a second. That's a lot of the workers today. You know what I mean? Because they all go through the same circuit, which is the NXT or someone went through Florida Championship Wrestling. Not that many that's in there now, except for Big E off the top of my head and Kofi Kingston, Sheamus. Anybody from the bar basically or from New Day went through Florida. But with those NXT workers, a lot of them just, man, they went through the same thing. They got trained by Scott D'Amore. If they weren't on the Indies and they promo skills were learned from I don't know who, maybe Scott D'Amore as well. I think Albert is there.
Yeah, and I was just
yeah,
like, man, y'all got to get a talker down there because
they definitely need to bring back managers. Remember, like,
yeah,
not just the WWF, but during that 80s and 90s run at before WCW, what was the name of the promotion? Like, okay, let me just use NWA because I can't think of the other promotions.
Oh, WCCW?
Yeah, when we had the territories. So back in the 80s when they had the territories, you know, from the AWAs of Verne Gagne and with Jeff Jarrett's dad and all those promotions that
the Von Erich family and all that, yeah.
Yeah, in Texas. So when they had that, a lot of people had managers. Like, what's her name? Shelly. God bless her, the one that managed Harlem Heat and a couple others. Like, she was going through all the territories just managing people. Like, we had managers. We had Slick Brown, who at one point managed Iron Sheik.
Yeah, and like, let's be real. Like, how many people did Bobby the Brain Heenan put over?
Everybody, every single person he managed. Every time he commentated, that man put somebody over.
And Vince hates managers. Like, I think he's softening to the idea because, and I think that's mainly because Triple H and Steph. But, yo, like, and it's wild because he did it in the corporation. Like, that helped. Like, Vince McMahon was not I'm clapping when I'm doing this because this is how passionate I am about this. He wasn't Stone Cold's manager, but he wasn't a primary wrestler. But him being there, interacting with Stone Cold and interacting with the crowd, got Stone Cold over even more. Like,
that's the WWF.
Yeah,
that's the biggest part. Like The Rock and Mankind and all those guys, just for everybody during the Attitude Era helped contribute to the reason why WWF is still going on. But without Stone Cold and the merchandise sales, there would be no TV ads. There would be none of that.
There was also, I forgot, someone was on Bruce Pritchard's podcast. I forget his name. I'm sorry. But he said one of the big things that immediately started making them money was they started charging the in your houses like $20, $30 a month. Like the moment they started doing that, they started making money again. Like, because Vince didn't feel comfortable charging people that much money for what's basically a glorified house show.
Right.
At the time. And someone was just like, well, just do it because WCW is doing it. And then he's started doing that. And then within months, we started making money again. Because it wasn't that people weren't interested. People were buying. They were just selling too low. So, but yeah, like you said.
And that's when boxing was at an all-time high, too, with pay-per-view sales during that Tyson era.
Yeah. But the wild thing is you're right. Like and everybody knows this, without Stone Cold, I mean, like, yeah, DX was there, but it was really Stone Cold that really, like, he's the one that pushed it over. Like, DX started the Attitude Era unofficially.
Right.
Stone Cold diagnosed it.
Absolutely. That man made pro wrestling what it is right now. You know, that Hollywood Blonde Jabroni Hulk Hogan, he did it back in the 80s. Him, Ultimate Warrior, and numerous others. Yeah, they held on to it. Just like with the NBA, man. Every major thing has an era, and somebody contributes to that era to keep it to where it is. So the 80s, we know, with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Then we got to the 90s, Jordan, 2000s, Kobe, Shaq, Vince Carter, etc., etc. So every major thing, particularly sports, has an era, and somebody's bringing in money or buys. Right now, the NFL, they some dumbasses, so they ain't getting as much money as they could.
Yeah.
But Odell's bringing in some type of money, but otherwise than that, them rednecks that watch they probably bringing in a significant amount of money. I don't know what's bringing in NFL money. Hell, they probably don't even know.
I mean, the thing about football, and I told my brother this when the Jimmy Butler shit happened, this is why the Hard Knocks show should be in the NBA, because players can be themselves and be a little bit more free. Like the biggest problem with the NFL is they want to be looked too closely to like. This is why they partner themselves so closely with the military, because they want to be looked at as like this band of brothers and all for one for all. And that's not how I personally, or I mean, a lot of people don't mind that, but that's only because y'all telling us that's what y'all want. If y'all just let football players be themselves, it would be a much better league because everybody would be feeling like, okay, here's an example. You know how white people and certain other races of people are just like, if we just got everything out in the open and this and that, everything would be fine. If we just talked about it all and like said whatever we want to say, like said it openly, everything will be fine after that. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
That is not put into practice in the NFL at all. They want people to like shut up and just play. When in reality is like if y'all let these dudes have it out the way y'all say y'all want to have it out in politics, or when it comes to race, or when it comes to gender, or when it comes to sexual orientation, like y'all want to have it all these places except for the place that's the most frivolous, because it's too important there. It'll fuck up your entertainment.
Right. All you want to do is see some Hard Knocks, see some big black dudes yell or grunt or work out. That's all you want to see. That's all these people, not you specifically, but that's all these people seem like they want to see.
Yeah. And what's been the highlight of the past two NFL seasons? It's been Aqib Talib snatching Michael Crabtree's chain.
That's been the key. I've actually enjoyed it. Anybody that came from that type of environment, we actually enjoy it.
But that's the thing. Even folks who didn't come from that type of environment enjoy it because everybody's seen Friday.
Right, worldwide. Literally, everybody have seen it around the world.
Everybody's seen Friday. You can't tell me, like, Chris Tucker couldn't have been a star without Friday. So you telling me nobody's seen Friday?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. We all seen Friday. So we all understand what it means to have your chain snatched.
Mr. Grady, my main thing is how you let that happen again twice. Like, you that scared of Aqib?
Yeah. And it was like, man, you taped it down? And someone should have told him, hey, bro.
Just don't wear it.
Just don't wear it. If you feel that strong about it, and it's not even so much that you scared that he gonna take it. It's just that if you don't feel that you fast enough to stop his hands, if I'm the quarterback, I don't feel comfortable throwing the ball to you.
At all. Because I know you're going to fumble it at the sight of seeing this dude.
Yeah.
My question is, did anybody ask why you didn't pull up on Steve Smith like that, Aqib?
Oh, because
it's Steve Smith.
It's Steve Smith and
senior. Now senior.
Also, thing with Steve Smith is, I mean, Aqib Talib is, once it gets to that point, Aqib Talib much rather have some steel than just some hands. He'd rather have some cold metal in his hands.
Well, we know he keep that. He's got to be in his state to do that.
But that's the thing is also Talib won't mess with you if he knows he'll fight back. Like, he didn't try and take Dez's chain or anyone else's chain because they know it's going to be a fight. Like, he's still going to try and – if the Rams and the Ravens got to play this year or they end up playing in this – I hope they play in the Super Bowl because I want to see a chain snatching with 150 million people watching. So we as a nation can collectively enjoy a chain snatching.
With that unseasoned halftime performance, that's another reason why NFL is so trash. Like, y'all really got Maroon 5. Like, bro, it's Atlanta, yo. Like, y'all can't let niggas have fun once. Like, Outkast did Hey Y'all. Y'all can't call them?
Like, I mean, Outkast probably said no, but the thing is,
they probably didn't act. No, I think Drake probably would have did that.
Well, the thing is, so here's the thing. Like, Maroon 5 would have been perfect for Minnesota because they, Minnesota don't really have great rappers. Wasn't someone like Cuckoo Cal from Milwaukee or something like that? But,
I think so. Bro, I know that's his actual name, and I got that in my Projects album. But it's just hilarious to hear his name.
Project. I really like that song.
My project's big. Don't go to my project.
But the wild thing is, like, Maroon 5 would have been perfect there because that's like Adam Levine actually does really good Prince covers. Like, you're not gonna be Prince, but if you got to get someone to cover it and they white, Adam Levine is not a bad choice.
Mm-mm.
And people was just not feeling Justin Timberlake.
No, that man looked like he was out of shape last year.
There's that, and just Man in the Woods. Well, it was this year, but Man in the Woods, it just wasn't all that for me.
It wasn't for anybody. I just like Breeze Out the Pond. That's one of my favorite songs this year. That's it. That's the only song I listened to off of it.
Well, that's the fascinating thing. A few people I talked to said they've come around to liking it, but I was just like, I haven't gotten there. Like, I'm not one of these people that says I never come around to liking an album, because that's not true. I come around to liking a lot of things, or the reverse. I'll start to like something and get back to it, like, oh yeah, this is not good. But yeah, that one I haven't. But yeah, you know what the big problem is?
They could have called Kilo Ali.
They could have called Kilo Ali. They could have got the So Def bass all stars out there, and we could have had a Freaknik.
No, we don't need that. Let Bow Wow stay at home for the love of God. This kid.
This is pre-Shad.
No, he will find out a way. If he photoshopped himself into the Death Row picture, he will find a way to say, "I was there. I was there during Crisscross. When Crisscross came out, I was there."
Let him hang out on the sideline. I just want to see.
He's not going to do that. Have you not been seeing what this kid is doing? He's crazy. He going to run on the field.
That's true. You're going to fuck
and he'll try to fight security. Like, fist fight the security.
That's fine. If, like, do you know how rough and tough and, like, ready for a fight security guards are at a football game, particularly people rushing the field?
Right, because a lot of them didn't make it. So they're like, man, I got to take this job.
Yeah, and, I mean, this is the thing. It's a celebrity. When you get a chance to take a shot at a celebrity and you someone who has the authority to, like, roughhouse them, what you going to do, not take it?
On the basis of celebrity, where are we going with this?
I'm saying that, like, if Bow Wow try and do something wild there and security has a chance to take him out, oh, man, they're going to be all over Black Twitter. They're going to be labeled a hero.
I would have felt good if they called Post Malone. I don't really have a problem. I can't figure out. Like, I can't listen to a full Post Malone album, but I could listen to songs. I'm like, oh, this shit fire. If that makes sense. The Stoney album, I could listen to it in tidbits. It's like that first album. I could listen to Up There, Flexing, Deja Vu, and the song with Quavo. Congratulations. And then his newest album, I don't like Rockstar. I just like the song with Sway Lee because it's Sway Lee, the God. But other than that, I could listen to Post Malone first. I would have felt good. They should have called Post. He said he not hip hop.
Well, his new album is technically not hip hop.
Right. I never thought he was hip hop. They just put hip hop on there just because it sounded like mumble rap when they was really calling it mumble rap in 2016.
Yeah, that's true. But
I'm one of those few people who don't have a problem with Post Malone.
No. I don't have a problem with Post as an artist.
I'm glad he ain't dodging death no more.
Yeah, that was a wild time for him, man.
Last month.
Like, it was wild for white rappers in general last month. Like, hey, if you're a white rapper and you made it out of September 2018 alive, congratulations, man, because we lost a really good one.
Yeah, that man wasn't a white rapper. They call him white rapper. That man was more than that.
Yeah, he was just a rapper. That's
one of those people like Paul Wall look at, and I'm like, oh, I gotta really like. I know you're a different skin complexion, but you gotta really think about it.
Yeah, that's just
your actions don't move like it.
Yeah, you just people at that point. Like when you say like, oh, we just all people, bro. When you look at them, you be like, oh yeah, that's what they mean.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely all lives matter when it comes to those two because I gotta really think about it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but last month was what, August, September with white rappers. Shit, man. Logic about to age 10 more years.
Yeah.
He
Also,
came out all right with a good album, but he about to age 10 more years.
shout out to Anderson .Paak at the BET Hip Hop Awards last night, shouting out Mac Miller.
Man, fuck the BET Hip Hop Awards.
I I thought it was a stupid thing to put that on the night
Of opening.
of the NBA. I was like, are you trying not to get people to watch? And something else big happened too. I forget what else happened yesterday, but it was another big event.
WWE 1000?
Oh, right, the SmackDown 1000. Yeah. And it's not like, but I mean, hip hop fans aren't really hip hop fans like that anymore. So there is worry about those type of things. But I don't really want to talk about the Vic Mensa thing.
I don't either. The best thing I can say really quick about him is just you gotta fucking stop now because you keep contradicting yourself.
Well, it's not just that. It's
and then you're telling people to fight you. I don't believe you. You need more people.
Well, yeah, man. You want to fight. But the thing is, so apparently my brother told me that, and this was brought up, is like, you don't like domestic violent people who hit women, and you're like, dude, you admitted in an interview that you choked out your girlfriend once, an ex-girlfriend. So, not saying that you're not a better person now or you don't do that now, but it's just like,
Well, he just admitted, and then he put in the trash song that came out today. That he's doing the young boy thing, where even though he is a young boy, you gotta apologize to a song and make a song. You can't just apologize without apologizing, because that was a bullshit apology, so to speak, where you're trying to keep all your pride, and then now I'm sorry, but y'all can fight me, and little jokes on Instagram.
Yeah, you know who responsible for that is Akon. Remember Akon?
Oh, what he did with the newspaper.
Remember he had that massive, massive year where he had the second album where he had Smack That, I Want to Love You. What else was on that album? Like that was a wild album. It was
the second album, right?
Yeah, it's the second one. I know the original story was that Plies was supposed to be on I Want to Love You, but
he was on there.
No, it was Snoop. Oh
no, they had a remix of some with Plies on it.
Yeah. Oh, they did. That's right. But then
I was like, I didn't even think about the Snoop version.
Yeah, then they had like Don't Matter, and
that was on the first album, right?
No, that was the second one. That was a massive song. Like he had like wild hits and singles off this album. This album did numbers around the world. Like this album might have went like close to 10 mil.
I think so, because the first album was a little bit more street oriented.
Yeah, but like, he had 3 like number ones off this album, I think, or at least like top 5 records. But yeah, and then
that was the third album that had "I'm So Paid" or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but this album, this was also the time where that girl got into the club, and he was like basically dry humping her on the stage and doing everything but fucking her. And they found out she was underage. And this when he like body slammed the kid off the stage when he was doing a show. And it was just like, hey, bro, you gotta chill a lot. Like, you gotta chill a lot, because this is getting a little hectic. Like, and even his apologies, like he was so hot, his apology song went number 1.
Right.
Like his like he was so untouchable that his apology song charted.
Right, and he had to apologize because he said on Dream Champs it was like the deacon's or preacher's daughter or something like that.
Yeah.
The-
But it was incredible that like so when everyone else makes apology songs, it's like, yo, you are not popping like that. You don't need to make an apology song like that. Like
right,
if Bruno Mars do some wild shit, Bruno Mars got to make an I'm sorry song. That's why Nicki missed a big opportunity because she could have made a big I'm sorry song and that people would have been singing to, and we would have rocked with her again. Like
right. She seems to have way too much pride for that though.
yeah. Well, that's the rapper in her. Like the rapper in
The
her.
New York rapper.
Nah, it's not just New York rapper. It's the rapper because I mean, you know, it's a whole lot of people that's not from New York that still have that level of pride where they're like, I'm right though. And it's like we're not talking about right or wrong at this moment. We just talking about what we want. Like the thing about like that was the wild thing about the Nicki Trav thing was like Nicki was not necessarily wrong. It's just like, yo, we just tired. Remember, we talked about this. Every time I'm in the shade room, you in the shade room.
Right.
And so it got to the point where even if she was right, it just you hear again. Hear again. But what else?
Did you get a new B5 track yet?
Why would I listen to B5?
It's been 14 years since All I Do and You Got Me came out. I want to see where they are right now. Like they older now, they're not kids anymore.
You want to see where B5 is at?
Hey man, when Diddy take your publishing, what you gonna do? I might as well see how it turned out. If Day 26 put out an album tomorrow, I'm listening.
I'm good. I'm good on all of that.
Them first Day 20, those first and only two Day 22 albums were good though.
Well, the thing that Diddy was smart about was what it looked like with that and Danity Kane is it sounded like he got like a few of them dudes and them ladies in their groups were songwriters. And like good songwriters. So they might not be like, because you remember he just basically took D Woods and basically put her in that
Dirty Money.
Yeah, the Dirty Money thing. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Don Richard stuff sounds good though. The stuff that she doing by herself, she's been solo for a minute. Her last couple albums been all right. It's woke sounding, but it's all right.
It's fair.
Speaking of which, like I told you yesterday, I think I'm gonna put a seat at the table on my top 3 all decade list. That's probably the greatest woke album I've ever heard.
Well, yeah, It's better than To Pimp a Butterfly.
That's still number 1. I think that's a lot. That nothing gonna change. It's gonna have to be something that's gonna make me change from that. And I don't see anything else coming out in the foreseen unless even Tame Impala, if they drop something, I'm waiting for a couple people to drop, but I don't think they could take that spot.
Tame Impala has a shot. Vampire Weekend has a shot. Disclosure, if they ever come back, has a shot.
Yeah, because it's been 3 years for them.
Yeah. That's about it. Unless like Tyler comes back with something even better than Flower Boy, he got a shot.
I think it's a lot. It's safe to say it's a lot. I don't want to say it's totally a lot, but I don't see anything else from any other artist coming out.
I think Vince Staples can do something just as good, if not better.
We'll see.
Or Crit.
Yeah.
Crit gotta want it though. Because if we talking like mixtapes and albums and all that, like all projects included in this decade, I'm like, man, it's really hard to beat Crit Was Here.
No, you talking about Crit Was Here for Return or Forever? That's still one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life. I don't know why people don't talk about that enough. I'm about to play it when we done.
Like, that's the wild. That's how dope and loyal his fan base is. Like, we still rocking with him off of stuff that wasn't the official album. Like,
At all.
That's how hard we rock with him. And the wild shit is Def Jam couldn't figure out how to turn that man into money.
Well, it's Def Jam. That's why.
That's true.
Like, who's it's Logic right now? Vince not even he signed to him, but he got a partnership through No ID label. And Janae Aikeel's on there, Big Sean, Kanye. I think that's that. 2 Chainz.
Is Ross on Def Jam?
No, he got out that deal last year. That's why he put out that album that came out last year.
Oh, Rather You Than Me?
Yeah, he put that out. He signed through LA Reid, which is through I want to say Columbia. That's crazy. I try to remember this stuff off the top of my head when I have a computer here, but I really rather remember it.
No, I do the same thing just to give the memory a good once over. I still try to remember phone numbers.
Yeah, I only know my mom's and like maybe one other person's number. And you do that. You do that just in case you get locked up.
No, I do that just to see if I can. Like, it's not some weird genius thing. It's just, I don't know. You get bored and you want to see if you can do things. And it's not like I get destructively bored. I get like productive bored or like abstract bored. Like I said, my idea of boredom is like, let me see if I can remember phone numbers, people's phone numbers.
Right. No, that's good. You gotta play the brain games. You gotta keep your memory fresh, man, because we can look stuff up real quick. He's actually signed to Epic, which is crazy. And I'm looking at their roster. This is a pretty good label to be on. I didn't know Future was on Epic.
Yeah, Future's on Epic. Isn't Weeknd over there?
Danity Kane is signed to it. Speaking of Bad Boy, that's hilarious. Khaled's on it. Travis on it. People keep forgetting that Travis is signed to Grand Hustle.
Yeah.
T.I. definitely doesn't forget because every time he check his account, he like there goes another royalty check.
Yep. There was no one more big of a fan of the Astro World than him.
At all. He was like, we just went platinum, cool, and it keeps going up. And then Sicko Mode keep doing numbers. Great.
He be in there like a light. Like a light.
Right. With that. Oh, the hat don't turn like that. He up there. He almost 40. He like, I can't do the hat thing no more. Man. Ross. Buster signed to it, which is crazy. And I keep hearing great things about Buster's new album whenever it comes out.
Didn't we do this with the Buster, like the Busta Rhymes Dr. Dre album?
The Big Bang, that was different. This is why. Because I've always been pessimistic about Dr. Dre and the artist signed to his label. Obviously, with Anderson .Paak, it's a different thing because you got to understand you're not going to stop Anderson .Paak right now. And I think what it comes from is if you're willing to work, he's willing to put up the time for it. Because I think some people just, and I understand that if that's the case, a lot of people are just like, all right, I'm signed to Aftermath, I'm signed to Interscope, I could just work whenever. And history has shown that Dr. Dre works himself crazy. So with Anderson .Paak, you're not going to stop anybody like that who is on course to be a megastar. And so last Wednesday, it was a week from today, when they announced the Oxnard album, I'm like, all right, I was hyped. And then when I seen that, I said, oh, Aftermath is actually about to put out an album. That's not anybody from TDE. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this album.
That's fair.
I'm really looking forward to it. That might crack the number one. I didn't even think about that because Malibu was solid, but this one might actually do it now that he has a team behind him and he can get what he wants.
The rollout is strong. Like, you got Dre promoting it. You got Kendrick on the first single. It's a good look. Now the thing about him is he's not. he's not a he's not a artist that how do I say, like, captures people like that initially. For the most part, it seems that his stuff kind of grows on people because by the end of 2016, everybody was talking about Malibu.
Yeah.
You were the person that sent me Malibu at the beginning of the year, so thank you for that because I got to like look a little ahead of the curve on that one.
Did I?
Because
I was the one that did it. I'm trying to, because we all heard him on the countdown, but I'm trying to figure out, like, when I was like, oh, I need to listen to this dude's music in general. Because it's one thing to do a feature. It's a whole thing to be like, oh, you did a feature? Let me listen to your whole album.
Yeah, it was, I think he did. Oh, I read a few reviews of Compton to see like if my feelings about it matched up. And everybody kept saying that Anderson .Paak is like that next dude. Like, this is my favorite dude making music right now. This is the dude. So I went and listened to Venice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, this that dude.
Yeah, and then I heard a couple things he put out with Knowledge, and then the No Worries came out because it went from Malibu like, and everybody like, oh, this is it right here. And then when No Worries came out, and I heard that, and I said, all right, yeah, he got next. But now the thing is, like we said, he had the album mixed by Dre and Mad Lib. We seen the picture with him with Q-Tip, so it's no telling what's about to happen now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, since we on music, let's just go straight into it.
We're not really never on music.
That's true. We either on music, we on wrestling. We did a little bit on basketball. Let me check in on that.
Yeah, it's halftime right now with the Spurs and the Wolves game, so I went ahead and went to the New Orleans and Houston game, and yeah, they not playing no defense, being Houston.
Yeah, man, Anthony Davis must have gave his locker room that Jimmy Butler talk like, yo, man, I'm trying to get that MVP this year, so I'm gonna need y'all to like step your game up.
Oh, he's definitely not joking because he already put up like 20 points. I think he had 8 rebounds last time I checked and already 2 blocks. So he definitely trying to get that Defensive Player of the Year award.
They running so small. Like, I think right now,
Melo at the 5, it looked like.
Melo at the 4 because Capella is out there, but you can't put Capella out there because he can't shoot. So Anthony Davis, all he got to do is just hang out in the paint. He ain't got to do a damn thing.
Hey, listen, man. All right, Melo. Melo is one of my favorite players ever. All I can say right now is, all right, Melo.
Yeah, like, oh shit, he just got blocked.
Like Stephen A. been saying it, and Max trying to defend him, and I try to be on Max's side because, you know, I love Melo, but that's all I can say right now. Hey, Melo. Hey, player. Hey.
It's good to see you, man. That's about it. You know, it's that family member that's like not doing great, but you see him at the function, and you're like, you know what? I'm just glad to see you, man.
Yeah, you looking good, nephew. What you doing? Them calisthenics?
Yeah, you getting in that gym? Getting in that gym?
Bruh, he an athlete. I can't challenge nobody's conditioning, but I don't think Melo, and we joking, I really don't think Melo really be on that treadmill. That man smoked way too many Black and Milds or cigars because he rich and drink too much Henny.
Melo
Why am I saying that? Because we've seen numerous pictures of this man eyes just blazing red, and when he's looking at Rihanna the Queen, his eyes, that is one of my favorite pictures ever because his facial expression just has a look and how creepy.
Yeah, that's true.
Melo ain't in no gym. I mean, he definitely at that point right now where he that bad. He's like, I see y'all in a minute.
You gotta be careful though, because Melo will hear this and we'll be outed as like jerks.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke with Melo, man. I love Melo. I don't want no smoke with that man.
Yeah, I'm not that type of dude that's gonna fight. But since we on music and
Yeah.
we talking about wanting smoke and all that, so what was it? Thursday, Friday? Aubrey went on LeBron show.
Yeah, he went on there.
Yeah, and he was talking about everything that's happened to him this year outside of Scorpion, and he was talking about Ye, or hip hop's biggest Trump supporter, and
Right.
he's talking about how he thinks the relationship they had and how hip hop's biggest Trump supporter at times would just be like kind of gaslighting him and like almost sound like he's like trying to like intimidate or bully him or like make him feel inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a shitty thing to do to someone whose music you supposedly like and someone who like looks up to you. Now, the wild thing is I have to believe Aubrey because a few weeks ago, Chance was on Joe Budden's podcast, right? And he was basically saying, yeah, Kanye does that to me too. He's like, I'll be on the song and he'll just take me off and I won't know why. Or I'll write this and I won't get credit for it.
Yeah, the whole thing is with him. The whole thing with him is it's just you suppose this is the thing. I don't think he understands that when you keep honest people around you, they're gonna be honest of all time. They're gonna protect you as much as they can. But they told you like if you got your friends or not even friends, associates, business associates around you, people you're supposed to be working with, saying like, I don't know what you're doing. It's confusing me. And Pusha said numerous times that him and Drake are in bromance. You should feel some type of way. Like, bro, you supposed to be you telling people I'm in a bromance. Like, I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta catch your fade. But if you feel like you have to say that about your man that's supposed to be your business partner or whatever, Kanye, you fucking up on a lot of accounts, buddy.
But that's the thing. I'm not even getting towards that yet. I'm just talking about like the stuff where Drake said like hip hop's biggest Trump supporter was like he played him music. Drake asked him what he thought, and then he was telling him about the thing with the kid and all this and that. And then all of a sudden, everything else starts happening and mobilizing right around that date. And then supposedly he played a beat for hip hop's biggest Trump supporter and asked him if he liked it. And hip hop's biggest Trump supporter said yes. And he was like, the next day, that's when I hear "Lift Yourself Up." He's like, is he talking about me? Is he making fun of me? Like, yo, I just told him like some man to man shit, and he's just like gonna do that. So there's that, and that's what Chance was alluding to, is that like hip hop's biggest Trump supporter does that with a lot of people that look up to him. And I don't know how abusive that is, but that's not cool. I can say that. And the wild shit is I think Joe Budden just asked Chance straight up. I know you listened to it. They asked Chance if he liked hip hop's biggest Trump supporter's last few projects, and he was like, nah, not really.
You can't, that's what I'm saying. You can't be like this whole buddy shit, man. If somebody's doing trash shit, you gotta call them out for it. Like if I'm wilding out, call me out for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't take you serious as a friend or somebody that should be around me. If you can't call me out for saying stupid shit or doing a lot of stupid shit, and I personally myself do some stupid shit at times, if I can't be called out for it, I can't trust you.
That's true, but you also got to be willing and open to being called out. Like, I don't know how much hip hop's biggest Trump supporter likes being called out if it's not by certain people. And it seems like he only will take being called out by people who he doesn't think he can beat up. Because remember when he started shouting at Sway, and Sway was like, well, if you really feel that way, we can stop the interview right now. We can go to the back.
Right. This ain't no turn up show.
Like, nigga, I've been doing this for a while, but I'm still from the Bay.
Right, and we talk about that all the time. Just the same thing like Pusha. Hey man, leave anybody that's quiet alone. Because
Yeah.
that Joe Budden
Anybody?
that interview that happened this morning, it took it to a whole nother level. All right, now I sent you the tweet last night that somebody saying that Pusha openly said he loves Arby's. You a different guy altogether if you say you open about eating
Yeah.
Arby's. Man, there's
Yeah.
been many broke days I done had. I ain't never said, let me go ahead and get this
Yeah.
roast beef from Arby's.
Yeah. You all the smoke. So let's go there. So Aubrey was accusing hip hop's biggest Trump supporter of doing releasing the footage to Push and the information and all these things, and that's how he feels like he feels like he was betrayed by hip hop's biggest Trump supporter, and that was the narrative all weekend, and we was grilling hip hop's biggest Trump supporter for that. We was grilling him. We was calling him this and that, and then he also got to say like, oh, I didn't mind him saying the stuff about my kid because that was going to come out anyway. I didn't mind him saying the stuff about my parents because I had already said things like that. What I didn't like was him saying the stuff about 40. And that created this rift between young and older hip hop heads. Because my younger brother is 7 years younger than me. And he still feels like Pusha T went too far. And I told him like, yeah, I was like, unfortunately, I just told him like, you were born when Hit 'Em Up came out, but you weren't old enough to comprehend what that means.
Right.
Like, I think he was 1 or 2 years old when Hit 'Em Up came out. But Hit 'Em Up was a wildly disrespectful record. And the thing was, like, supposedly, Tupac thought Biggie had him shot the first time. And then the very next day after he gets shot, Who Shot Ya comes out.
Right.
Like, so let's say Biggie really set him up and then he puts out Who Shot Ya. Biggie's a cold motherfucker for that. Then Pac comes back with Hit 'Em Up. Pac is a cold motherfucker for that. It was all out of line. All out of line, which brings us to yesterday's when Dave East and Styles P were promoting their album at Hot 97. It's a good album, by the way. If you guys really like just like hard beats, hard rhymes, you're not gonna get much better than that within the last few weeks.
And one of those songs off of there were actually going to be my watch song of the week too. So that's great that you booked it up.
Okay. But Styles made a great point. It was like, Pusha T not from this era. You mentioned Pusha T's wife on the song. And he's like, also, how come you get to make the rules? And it was like, but it's also coming from a point of like, I understand Drake because Drake is like myself, like Drake. I'm not a street guy. So I do think there are lines you can cross. For street guys, everything's on the table.
Right.
So that's really what it was. And then we get to the Joe Budden podcast, and I have some footage about like basically how Pusha T played this whole situation after hearing the Joe Budden podcast. So essentially, this is what Pusha T did to Drake this year. You ready? Here we go.
I think that you got the wrong impression about me. I think in all fairness, I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do. For instance, tomorrow morning I'll get up nice and early, take a walk down over to the bank, walk in and see you, and if you don't have my money for me, I'll crack your fucking head wide open in front of everybody in the bank. And just about the time that I'm coming out of jail, hopefully, you'll be coming out of your coma. And guess what? I'll split your fucking head open again. Because I'm fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck about jail. That's my business. That's what I do.
That's Pusha T. Pusha T, like, and I'm gonna explain it why, but just I want you to go ahead and give your thoughts on this too.
All is fair in love and war. All is fair. Yeah, he didn't have to talk about somebody with multiple sclerosis, but we saw how, and they kept saying how very tactful he is. I didn't know Pusha was this tactful. He's very strategic with stuff he's done.
Well,
Because I said it months ago. Guess what? You want to keep going about it? Hey, now let's say names. Your friend's the one that told me about it. And it's 2 days before when Drake, who's very undertone with stuff he says and these shots and these little things he does, we seen, like I sent you earlier on his IG about the snake comment. Then hours ago, before he took other pictures after that, when he took the snake skin 2 days ago, it was just like hours ago, he took a picture right now with the snake skin. I think it was some unseasoned caption that says, "New skin, no Fortnite." And that was a bar. That was a great bar.
yeah, I wish he would have kept that. I wish he would have kept that for like a feature or something. But
Right, because my thing is with the shop, and they said the same thing too. Why bring it up later? Like, if somebody asks you a question, you can do prior to the question saying no. I think people don't have an understanding now that you could be Marshawn Lynch or Westbrook in any form you want to. You don't have to answer every question.
no,
You can say I'm thankful or good execution like they do.
last episode we praised Big Sean for being like, I'm just not gonna say nothing. Like, silence is an option sometimes. Like,
A very good option most of the time in life.
yeah. Now the wild thing is, we had Drake. Like, we was taking Drake's side, and Push was like, nah. Like, okay. So my thing about this, when I was listening to it, I came to a conclusion, and it's like, Push was really upset about that shop interview. I don't think he was so much upset that it was it came out. I think he was upset at the fact that everybody was starting to fall for it.
Right.
Like, that's what upset him. Because if nobody was falling for it, I don't think he goes on a Joe Budden podcast and like this and that. But we was actually falling for it. We was getting on his side to a degree. Certain people was like, nah, you can't mention a man's wife and think that's okay. Because, like, if we're going to be completely honest, like, okay, Pusha T makes Infrared. He says nothing that we don't already know.
Right.
Drake comes out with the Duppy freestyle, mentions, mentions Pusha T's wife by name. He name checked her by name. I didn't know Pusha T's wife's name. Most of us didn't. I didn't know Pusha T was married.
No, he was at that point. He was engaged. He just got married to her like a month or two ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know any of these things. So
right.
He put out information about someone that, it didn't have to be that. Now, so then Pusha T comes back with that. And then Drake says, oh, it was taking it too far when you mentioned the line about 40. And Pusha T was ready for that because he was like, oh, we're not going to talk about two birds, one stone when you diss Cudi while he was having a mental health breakdown.
Right.
You're not going to mention the fact that you brought up my wife's name, this and that. So all this tells me is Pusha T knew Drake would do this.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not that he wasn't, like, he said, like, oh, yeah, the fact that it happened so fast and people was moving with it. I don't think he expected it that fast, but I think he knew Drake was going to say something, so he had to be ready. And I think he knew that, like, if I say something that gets Drake a little bit and gets to his attention, he'll say something back to me that'll be over the line. For me.
Right.
And he did that by mentioning his wife's name. And Pusha T took that as like, okay, fine. Because once again, Pusha T is a street guy. Like mentioning other people, bringing other people into your fight is the most
That's
annoying.
coward.
It's the most annoying thing you can do to a street guy.
Absolutely. Because my thing is, personally with me, I'm not a street dude. I've just been outside, if that's the best way of saying it. I've been around people and I was hanging around people that was living the street life. But with me, I was around them. I wouldn't go out and do the crime with them. But I understand because I learned a lot of them tactics from them in life. When you supposed to have problems with somebody, it's supposed to be you. Now, if you want to make it about multiple people or you want to bring multiple people in this to defend you, then I got to go get my people and we make this a whole thing. But I prefer it be a fair one.
But
So with him, it was the wife thing that played a major part to it, as he said.
Yeah.
And he's sick and stuff like that. He took what Drake did. He basically said this dude was wishing death on 40. He never said anything about him wishing death. The man said, tick, tick, tick. That boy is sick, sick, sick. Did he say anything about him dying? No.
now Push was wrong and cold for saying like, I mean, I don't care. But I was like, damn, that was okay. We get that.
But when it's, I mean, but once again, it's from that era. He's 41. So you got to remember, around our time, we came up from that hit him up. Pac said, your wife, he said, ain't one of y'all niggas sick or something? He said, fuck the Fugees. Everybody, he went at them personally. 50 Cent, when he's in the battle, another dude from our era, he, right now, as we're talking, is going at somebody because that's what he does, and it works very well because he's good at marketing. But right now, he's going at, what's his name, Michael K. Williams? He's attacking him. I know he's going to have to take the post down because he's alluding to Michael K. is zesty. And this is going on right now at this very moment because he has time for people that he doesn't like. And it all started because Michael K spoke trying to defend Jimmy Henchman, who 50 Cent does not like. When he doesn't like anybody, he tries to defend that person. We know he comes at you.
Yeah.
So these street dudes come from a different background. It was not no internet. They just have the internet now. And Pusha doesn't talk about anything on the internet. He's that really old school. 50 is just because he has stuff to promote. And he's like, let me get my shit off because I don't need to do radio interviews. Because we forget he was doing the Hot 97s and going on these radio interviews, saying people's names before he got on IG and really used it to cause his reign of destruction upon people.
Like the wild shit about, and that's why I played the casino clip because that's what Push did. Push was like, okay, I'm going to get you to say something. And once you say something, I'm going to bust your ass. And right when it's all calming down and you think it's okay and people are on your side again, I'm going to bust your ass again because I don't give a damn about pop music. I'm the president of good music. I don't give a fuck. I'm established.
Right.
Like,
and at his time, he waits 4 to 5 days before he does this stuff, which is genius.
Yeah, like I think we gotta like praise Pusha T for being possibly the most patient battle rapper, or at least like not battle rapper, but like hip hop artist who's gotten himself into a battle because he's done this in a miraculously like fashionable way. Because remember when he made Exodus and everyone was like, is he talking about Lil Wayne or is he talking about Drake? And or is he talking about this person? He was like, look, whoever want to come outside, come outside.
Right, he basically saying both.
Yeah. And Lil Wayne bit on that part. And Lil Wayne was not in the best of moments at that time. He was
trying to stay sober and alive.
I mean,
or at least not sober, trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Whatever in my cup, it's in my cup. It's my business.
And that's true. It's just it, you know, that was at a time when Lil Wayne wasn't making really good music at all. But
my nigga rich as fuck.
But you know, Drake didn't really take the bite. He would like throw subtle barbs, and as we see, Push ain't stupid. He know when you saying something about him, so he'll acknowledge it and come back. And it's just been kind of like this Cold War, and this and that.
That's some Napoleon. I mean, that's two different wars, but it's definitely the Napoleon thing. Know your enemy. Like he's just like savior and stuff. Like he said, okay, I want to know how this interview came about. Like, did Push just say, okay, because it's not a long flight from Virginia to New York, but did he just say, all right, this dude say something. Hey, Joe, or hey, Karen, can you get in contact with Joe so I can just do this interview and kill him for 3.5 hours? And this is mostly not about him, but most of these hours I'm gonna talk about him.
That's the
and
thing.
Then it's like, you know what? Biggest gem I'm gonna drop in 30 minutes, and it's about his friend saying all this.
Yeah. And it's just like, yo, you think it was my guy. It was your man's. And he was like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like the fact that my guy's over here rocking with you. You don't like the fact that Trav is rocking with him. You don't like the fact that Ye rocks with him. You don't like the fact that Sean rocks with him. You don't want that. You don't like the fact that Trav was on a Lil Wayne album. Like he don't
right.
Like he's like, why do we need to rock with them? We are so good without them. And Push isn't necessarily wrong. But the thing
right, absolutely.
But the thing Push got to remember is Trav and Sean grew up idolizing at least Lil Wayne. So
right, to some extent, because that was their guy back in 07. They was like teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, we were teenagers, but they was like, I want to say around 19. Bro, Alvin Gentry needs some water. He need a gallon of water. What the hell wrong with him?
I don't know. But
he ain't slept in a minute.
All I can say is when Push dropped that information today, he was like, oh, word 40? You just gonna let me? So he was like, okay. This is what he said. This was basically he was doing to both Drake and 40 in that interview.
Break my record. Now I break you. Like I break your
friend.
Shout out to Bloodsport.
What did he say that Drake should ask him? And that shit is hilarious. He said, "Are you okay?" Or what did he say? Drake should ask 40.
Disappointed in me? Did I let you down?
Did I let you down? That's hilarious because he was having a condescending way, like Pusher ain't that dude. Like you got to understand, man. Once again, it goes back to the joke we heard during this whole thing in May and June. Time is going by that fast. That's why I think he's upset too. Like, bro, you got your ass beat. These young dudes don't know how to understand. Even though Drake isn't relatively a young dude, he's been in the industry for 12 years now, but he does young dude tactics. What you got to understand is when you get your ass beat, I wish you had that sound bite. You live to fight another day. Like, get your ass in the gym. You get your ass beat, get in the gym, get your workout on it, figure it out.
Well, there's that. And, I mean, you came out all right on the other side. So, like, I understand him addressing it because it did happen to him. That's fine. I understand this and that. The weird thing was, like, him thinking it was hip-hop's biggest Trump supporter, I don't really have a problem with. The wild shit is just, like, this is how heartless Push is. Push probably knew Drake was eventually going to say that in an interview, and he was just waiting for him to say it so he could break Drake's heart again. Like,
right.
Like, you got him. So it's just, it's so wild that the thing that annoyed Drake the most was that you wished death on his friend, or he thought you wished death on his friend. And he's like, your friend is the reason you're in this situation right now. Your friend is the reason.
The whole time.
Your friend is basically the reason you took this L. And
the whole time because of a woman. And then the thing is, this is how great Pusha is and maniacal he is. Because when they asked him about the woman, he like, I don't know where she's from. They didn't even ask him like, how did you get in contact with the woman?
Nah.
He didn't even expose that. Like, how do you get in contact with the woman?
Nah.
How do you know a woman was gonna give you information like this? Like, hey man, you supposed to be putting $100K to find out information about Pusha T. He probably gave somebody $1,000 and got all the information
Or,
You need it.
but this is the thing about Push is one of those guys that's going to tell you what you need to know, but not everything you need to. You don't need to know everything.
From that time, that drug dealer mentality, I'm gonna say enough to keep me cool, but not enough to get everybody indicted.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
any charges.
You need information, not the whole story. Like, it's a whole different thing. So it was just wild. Like, it's just so wild that like this has escalated to like. Do you understand what's happened? Like, they made records, and Pusha T won the records battle. They did interviews, and then Pusha T wins the interview battle.
So at that point, it's just like, hey man, Drake, just stop, let it go.
Yeah,
Because
like,
he seems to have more up his sleeve. It's been 4 months now. He like, wait, there's more.
yeah, he's just out here with rest in peace. He's with the Billy Mays like all day. So he's just
And all this threw me off because what happened was the Shop interview came out on Saturday, and I didn't really think too much about it. I was like, all right, it is what it is. But the fact that all of a sudden Pusha T this morning just drops an interview on Joe Budden podcast, and I was wondering what was going on because I didn't see them recording or anything like that on their IG story. And I'm just like, woke up, and I'm just like, what the fuck going on?
yeah, like, do you know how Lex Luthor this shit is? Like, like, yo, like for real, this Pusha T might be like, I can't even say he's Lex Luthor. This nigga might be Dr. Doom. He has to be one of those super villains that's like, there's no really redeemable quality to him. Like, he's just evil.
No, it's Thanos. Like I said, the whole time everybody thought Drake was Thanos. This nigga wasn't even Captain America. He was Bucky.
Nah, it can't even be Thanos because Thanos has like a point to prove and he thinks he's right. And like, he thinks what he's doing is just.
You want to go with Darkseid then? Because Darkseid just don't give a fuck.
It might be Darkseid. That's why I said Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom don't give a fuck.
Right, he's just like, I'm just doing this. And all 4 of y'all could come at me with different elements. Listen,
He's just like,
I
look,
got this suit.
yeah, he's like, Dr. Doom is just on this like, I don't know if this is best for everybody. This is just what I think. And if you think differently, I'm going to murder you. Let's push.
Like, I got time for you if you keep calling me out. Like, he might be Candyman. They keep saying Kendrick's calling himself Candyman. No, Push might actually be Candyman.
Yeah, like that was an amazing thing too, is that he basically admitted that, yeah, Kendrick and Big Sean been like basically saying things about each other without saying things about each other.
Right, and it's like, where does this brew from? Is this the midget battle? I don't understand what's the point of it.
I don't.
Both of them can rap. One of them raps very well. The other one is just extremely good at what he does.
Yeah, like it. Like that was a crazy thing, like to know. And it was like, why did Sean back off? It was like maybe Sean just got a little more sense than a lot of other people. Like, I'm not saying Sean would lose. I'm saying maybe Sean looked at it in the long run and was like, this ain't worth it.
And he lives in LA. And when you're in somebody's hometown that isn't from the streets but very connected to street people, just leave it alone. Because the street people going to take it a certain way when it's supposed to just be on wax.
Well, that's the thing, is that I think Big Sean could have got away with it if he would have kept it on some whack shit, because people understand, like, we have enough history and enough time with rap to understand that this is just some rapper stuff. Like, this is rappers. This is what rappers do. Whatever. So long as it don't get too disrespectful, it's just rappers. It's like NBA trash talk. It's just trash talk. Like, that's all it is. If we go beyond this, it's going to get really, really ugly really quickly.
Yeah, that was a wild thing to wake up to. Because, like, I heard the rumors last night, then I woke up this morning and saw the podcast, and I was like, all right, this is crazy. And then thinking about it now, like, I still haven't really thought about it today. It's like, this dude really just said, I'm going on the record. I'm really about to do a 3.5-hour interview to talk about something you did days ago. And it wasn't recorded over the summer. It was recorded a couple weeks ago. The reason why I know that because of Kanye, because LeBron's trash IG stories, and I'm done. I'm stopped following
Whatever.
LeBron today.
However,
I gotta stop. His shit is so trash, man. I can't do it. Other than with the babies and
you know,
bro, you can't. And I'm glad people catching on to it, bro. You can't like every single song.
what is that? But you know what's the amazing thing about this interview that Push did? Remember when people would like take light barbs at the game and then game would release like a 9-minute song?
Right. 300 bars and running.
Like Drake spent like 4 minutes talking about this, and Pusha T was like, I'm doing a 3.5-hour interview and I'm airing everything out.
He probably has more.
Yes. And it's just like, man, maybe it's good that this dude doesn't talk all the time. Not so much because he's wrong, but if people listen enough, it'll alter the climate of rap. Like, it'll make it real uncomfortable for dudes. Like, where he's like, yo, y'all don't rap anymore. Y'all don't rap. Like, whatever. He's like, y'all don't rap like that, so y'all not able to sustain like this. And that's another thing. If we want, like, I don't want to get too old heady, but we're already there, aren't we?
Yeah, because you go ahead and then I'm gonna talk about 2 more things relating to this, because now I'm thinking about something else.
And that's the other thing is like, yo, this was such a controlled space and comfortable space for Drake. Like, he went to a place where he knew they weren't going to hit back that hard. Push went to Joe Budden's podcast. Well, Joe Budden's not going to, like, just, like, savage him, but Joe Budden will push back a little bit more. They push back a little bit more when it comes
absolutely.
Like,
because he's crazy.
Yeah, they're not out here trying to, like, embarrass you or make you look ridiculous. They just want to know certain things, and they have a little bit more pushback, and they know when to back off a little bit.
Right, and 2 of them come from that era, and one of them is a Philly. Well, he's blood to a dude that created a dynasty.
There's that.
But so they definitely come from that era.
And it's also just like, young rappers, we don't give as, like, people of our age and younger don't give great interviews.
Some of the rappers around our age kind of give that interview just because, not saying we old, but some of them do. But no, definitely they don't. The young ones, anytime I see if it's not Vince Staples, I'm not probably watching it.
Yeah, like if it's a young dude, it's not, because everyone else gets like, it looks like they don't want to be there. They just rather be tweeting or something like that. And that's cool. That's cool. I understand that this is a different group of people. You know, they grew up with social
club. Them motherfuckers.
Yeah, but it's they grew up with social media in a way we didn't, whereas that, you know, where we grew up with, like, Twitter came out and got big when I turned 20.
Right.
Twitter for other people, like Yachty is 20. He was 10 when Twitter took off. So he
was using it as a toy.
Yeah.
He didn't have no Game Boy. He had Twitter.
Yeah, like, there are kids who were born in the 2000s. They don't remember a time before the internet. They don't remember a time before the iPhone. They don't remember a time before Facebook or Twitter or Instagram like that. We do. We're the tweeners where we had enough of a life without the internet and then learned how to navigate on the internet. But even like people our age and older still fall victim to the same things. Like, people be out there getting in their feelings, saying too much on Twitter, getting themselves in trouble on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, all because you get too in your feelings and you want to say too much. What I'm saying is, when it comes to, like, talking to someone else, they're kind of terrible. They're not fun.
No, it's going back to, like I told you, because I was talking to a legendary rapper. I won't say his name. I hate doing that name drop stuff, but it's the same thing. Like they came from that era where you have to be there to promote the album. You got to hit the warehouse musics in whatever town you touring at. You got to do the press run. You got to do all that. You could. I mean, we saw those. What is it? MTV. Whatever, I forgot the name of it, but the MTV things they were doing where they was just doing like
director that.
What is it like? Nah, it wasn't the music video thing. It was just like a little documentary. Outkast was on one of them.
Oh, the diary.
Yeah, when they be like 12 p.m. I just got in town. I remember he got in. He's like, I only got 2 hours of sleep before I go rehearse and all that. So that was the time, and they had to rehearse. Surprise, young people, you had to rehearse, even if you're a rapper.
Yeah.
You can't just go on stage with your high beats clothes and jump up and down. You got to check the sound and make sure your sound is good. That's why the shit be sounding uneven at these festivals.
Like, the most amazing thing is, like, well, the way we sound right now is you just can smell the Vaseline through.
Oh, and we not Old Spice level. We definitely, like, my ankles hurt after playing pickup.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, well, I don't need to ice my knees, but I need to give it a break.
Yeah, we definitely at that. And I'm not joking, but at the same time you say that, I'm watching D-Rose, and he put up 6 points. And I'm not doing that because everybody knows I'm a D-Rose stan. It's just like, damn, bro, this man, 6 points. If this was the third quarter in 2010, he would have already been at 16.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, damn.
And then before we get off of this too, so 2 quick points about the whole Pusha Drake thing. So Drake has this thing, and I've never seen it before with a rapper, where he actually has his job interview voice, which is his actual voice. And it's hilarious to see him in that barbershop chair talking about it. And I was on my promotion for my album, and you have time to do this. I'm not going back and forth. Someone should punch you in the face. Now, I'm not making fun of how he talked, because I'm not going to say, oh, black people shouldn't talk like that. I'm not one of that. This ain't 1992. This ain't the goddamn Fresh Prince when they're talking about Carlton and how he talked or was raised. Might try to sound tough at times and have that voice. And then you remember he's from Canada. That's what makes it hilarious. Point number 2 is going back to that Dave East. And I saw it yesterday on Instagram because somebody tagged me in it. The Dave East Styles P thing. And I'm going to bring it back to Pusha T. So everybody keeps talking about the ghostwriter thing. That was going on, and that got exposed from Meek Mill during the, if you're not reading this, it's too late year. Now, something like that happened years ago. We know rappers like to hang their hat on stuff that they found out years ago and ride it out to the end of time. But if people keep saying it over and over, it begs the question, is that still going on?
Well, there's that. I don't necessarily know.
Because with me, and Pusha said the same thing. He was like, what you mean? Like when he was talking to Maul, he was just like, oh, he writes, hooks to have somebody help out. We're like, you sure? So if he's saying he writes bars, if he's saying he's not writing bars, I should say, Pusha is saying he's not writing bars. I got a lot of questions to ask.
Well, that's the thing is Push didn't necessarily say that he's not writing bars.
That's the keep that music. Keep that music for now. Whatever that music it is. When I gotta ask a question like that, just put that on talking music on.
That was the game show music for me to answer the question. No. But see, Push never insinuated that Drake isn't writing his own bars. He was insinuating that, is he writing bars for Kanye, or is he writing the melodic stuff for Kanye? Which I gotta assume he's writing the bar stuff, because the melodic stuff didn't get like really, really good with Drake until he got Party Next Door.
Right, and took most of his material. I should say taking most of his material, but got it.
Party writes for him. Party gives him that stuff, because the publishing and all that is going to be much bigger on a Drake record than on his own record.
Right, but then you got to ask, though, do you want to help out your career, or you want to help out your pocketbooks? And who am I to say that when I need help with my pocketbooks as well as most people?
Well, the thing about Party is already looked at as one of the best songwriters of the era. So whether he writes, he keeps like, and this is the thing you really have to think of. It's similar to like a Beyonce thing. I can write this and do this myself, and it could be a mild hit, or I can get this to Beyonce who wants it, and it'll take off, and then it won't be me having the hit, but it'll be me with the hit in the pocket right there. So there is that, and I think that's a fair thing to consider. It's just like, yo, the bag is bigger if I do this, which I can't front on anybody for wanting the bigger bag. It's only natural.
Right.
Particularly, like, it's different if Weeknd asks, or Drake asks Weeknd for a song. Because Weeknd might charge a little bit more. Weeknd might say no. Weeknd might want more royalties off of it. Party like, yo, it's in-house. I can make this work.
Right.
So, it's an interesting thing. So I can't necessarily, and the thing is, so here's the thing about people saying it over and over, and they eventually, like, you might hypnotize yourself into thinking that that's the person, that's true. And I'll give an example of this. In the criminal justice system, there was a point where you can only charge one felony to one act. Meaning, if someone robbed a bank, you have to choose between, like, armed robbery, breaking and entering, stuff like that. Now, let's say if you rob a bank, they can charge you with, like, armed robbery, kidnapping, because if you took hostages, you know, having an unregistered weapon, having a machine gun as an unregistered weapon, abetting the police officers, and all this stuff. So they can throw all these different charges at you. And let's say you did none of those things. Like, let's say they got the wrong person completely. It's harder for you to get that innocent. It's harder for you to get that innocent call from the jury, because if they rack up the charges against you, someone's going to think you eventually did something. They're going to think you did at least one of those things. So maybe you weren't the person in the bank robbing them. Maybe you were driving the car. Maybe you weren't the person in the bank. Maybe you gave them some information on how to do this, or you helped in some way. That's what they're going to be thinking. Because, so that's what it is when everyone keeps saying that the ghostwriter thing about Drake. The thing about that is we've said it so much now that I think some people are talking themselves into thinking that he really did it. And I still have no clue.
We don't. But guess what? If we try to figure it out, Pusha already got all the answers. I think he already knows. He knows Drake's future.
Yeah.
I think anything he reads his man's mind. He might be Professor X. He might not be out.
Well,
we definitely shit.
The wild shit is, like, Pusha hasn't lied to us yet.
No, at all.
Like, Drake hasn't lied to us per se, but he's omitted. He's made some omissions. And that matters. We really like Drake, so
these forum sites are ruthless.
Yeah. Like,
they've been crap like all morning. That's all I've been seeing is the jokes. And I came back 330 pages into this Pusha T thing. Listen, man. People gotta stop with these jokes.
No, keep the jokes going, man. Like, it's one thing to be harsh about it, but this is fodder for jokes. Like, it's different if, like, you making a joke and you're like, I hope 40 dies at the end. Then you're just a dickhead. But if you just got a good joke, hey man, let the joke fly. Like,
yeah, I'll see you what I'm seeing. Like, these kids are crazy. I'll just see you what they seeing. Like, it's not distasteful to a certain extent.
But I mean, even if it is distasteful, a certain level of joke that it has to be distasteful. And I mean, so long as it's not like, so long as people find it more funny than offensive, and the person, like the group is targeting, is not offended by it, it's okay.
You're gonna see. I'm about to send it to you right now. You can check when we get off.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Like, this is so amazing. This thing basically took away everything we wanted to talk about with the NBA. Like, the NBA out here just living its best life right now. I don't even see the scores right now, but
last time I checked, it was like 111 to 82 or something like that, around there. I'm probably miscounting, but it was something around there for the Pelicans. I'm going back and forth from the Pelicans and Rockets to the Timberwolves and the Spurs, and they competing on this game. So I'm gonna watch this.
The Knicks put up 20 points.
You said what now?
The Knicks put up 120 points
against who? Themselves?
The Falcons. I mean, not the Falcons. The Hawks. It might as well be the Falcons.
Yeah, both of them. You know, at least the Falcons made a playoff series. Yeah. Or no, the Hawks made the playoffs last year. I had to look at that. I was like, they made the playoffs last year with who?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But it's just a wild thing, you know, that's happening right now in the NBA. Because I told people I don't think the Rockets are going to be as good as they were last year just because they're losing defense.
Right.
And you're not getting, like, quality Melo right now because Melo's on the tail end of his career. The shot hasn't faded, but hey, man, it's
time to call it.
It might be time to come home.
It's time to call it. It was last season when I seen, like, I mean, it's OKC. You got a ball dominant guard, probably the number one ball dominant guard in the league, if not player. I think, yeah, because the point to minus average was like plus minus average was him. So I think he was number one in that because obviously when he has the ball, we know what he's gonna do. He's gonna put up more points because the nigga gonna drive on every single play. But I think he's definitely the most ball dominant player. Now, with Melo in that offense, of course he gonna ISO the ball 100 times, and he's been doing his whole career. Now he's able to do it coming off the bench, but they don't move like that because they got so many 3-point shooters. And we just seen today, it's like, bro, last year you only averaged 17. That's your career low. This year you might average like 14. Time to go home. It's time to go home, bro.
You might be absolutely right because it just feels uncomfortable. Like, it just feels uncomfortable when you watch someone great just start to diminish before your eyes. Like, it's getting real uncomfortable, man.
And Melo is just like, just go home, bro. That's all you need to do. You're getting paid from Atlanta right now. And you get that veterans minimum from the Rockets. You good.
You can chill a little bit. You don't have, like, this is one of those things where you're just constantly looking and you're like, you know you don't have to do this, right? You know you good, right? But
like, they're not getting the championship. And my boy just texted me that too, because I was gonna say, hey man, they said the Rockets gonna make this second seed. I beg to differ. It's gonna do tomorrow, but I had the Lakers at the third seed. I'm willing to say second seed. I gotta say, listen, and I'm not even a Lakers fan. I'm gonna be watching a lot of games this year. Of course, Bulls, because I'm a Bulls fan for years. But I got a second seed. I don't see who's taking that second. I'm not willing to say Portland's gonna take that second seed. I'm not willing to say the Pelicans gonna take the second seed.
Okay.
I can't say the Spurs now, despite, you know, they tie right now. They don't have any guards, any point guards. They got Patty Mills, but usually he's coming off the bench. They don't have anybody to move the ball around. I'm going with the Lakers for the second seed.
For We'll see. I'm not gonna say anything just yet, just because I know
It's early.
It's early, and you know it's the first game. Anybody can have a bad first game. Anybody.
Right. That's what I said. Let me see tomorrow, because usually LeBron, when things don't start going right, he kind of throw. And I love LeBron. He's one of my favorite players ever. But when things start going wrong, he want to throw these fits. So and say we need to do trades. No, bro, ain't no trades this season. Let the young boys figure it out.
Nah, he got to know that. Like, it's not like when he was, because last year it made sense because he was on a team of vets, like
vets, and
people
not very good vets.
People who had won rings, people who had been deep in the playoffs, who understood what it took to win a championship or at least get to the finals or to be good in the playoffs. And they weren't producing. So he was like, yeah, y'all got to dip. Every last one of y'all got a dip. And I wasn't mad at him for it. I wasn't mad at him for it because the thing was, if LeBron didn't make the finals last year, we was ready to crucify him. Like, legitimately crucify him. And I thought that would have been not good. Thought that would have been not good. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
Nah.
But now he's on a team with much younger people. I think he's played enough. He's practiced enough with it to realize y'all don't know what y'all doing. So I'm gonna help y'all figure this out.
Just make the playoffs. I feel like Laker fans, as long as y'all hey, we get to the playoffs, that's cool. That's all you can ask for.
And that's the saddest thing about being a Lakers fan, that's where we are right now. Like, Laker fans are we're used to look, if we can't win a championship, this is a failed year. Not a waste, but a failure. Because I don't believe that it's a waste of a season, ever.
No.
But it was just this is a failure. But I mean, hey man, we gotta figure it out.
Drake shouldn't say nothing else, because then now I think at this point Pusha is gonna start talking about him like a young girls.
I mean,
I think it just is level. Just leave it alone, because it's getting levels upon levels.
Thing is, Drake wasn't wrong for addressing this. Like, everyone's like, why'd you take so long? It's like, it's my situation. I could take as long as I want. I don't have to talk. Like, some people don't talk about things until they get to their biography or their memoir. So, oh, he waited a few months. So what? But thing is, Push just came back with yeah, I don't mind you talking, but you need to know the truth. And it's like, nigga, I wouldn't have known the truth unless I said something. He's like, you see what I'm here for? I got you. So in the weirdest way about all of this is the person who's been the most honest with Drake has been Push.
Everybody else seems to be lying.
Everybody else seems to be lying to him.
See, that's how you know he's a super villain. I'm your friend, baby. He said he's going back to his old drug dealer ways. If he was a drug dealer in the 70s, I'm your friend, baby. I got what you need.
Yeah.
The world don't understand you like I do.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna lose friends. You're gonna lose people you looked up to. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, and it's gonna hurt because old folks like repeating themselves.
Right, just in case they thought they forgot what they just said.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I told Johnny. Then they love saying their friend's name they've been friends with since schoolyard. They call it schoolyard.
You know what Push
the playground.
Push did? Drake was like, "Yo, Kanye told on me." Push was like, "Huh? What that say right there?"
What's that say?
Says
it was Noah
40.
40,
Okay,
Scott.
stop right there. It was 40, right?
Not Kanye, Amari West. It was Noah,
40.
40, something. Scott, I can't enunciate his last name.
That's a whole.
SCH.
That's a whole different country of where the names come from.
Okay,
Okay, Noah, that white people biblical shit.
right.
Kanye, that African biblical shit. So you got a European biblical mixed with an African like no.
Right.
It was the Euro name.
My mama, in her ignorance, don't know a Noah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's all I'm saying. No. That's what he should have did. After 2 hours of them asking him, I mean, obviously he came on here to talk about the whole thing, but it would have been hilarious after 2 hours. No. I don't have to explain nothing. I told you already.
Yeah, I told you. Told you. So that's got to be the saddest part about all of this is that it just seems like everyone that's surrounding or like that Aubrey is either looks up to or is friends with is not telling them the truth. And all the people who dislike him are far more honest with him in ways that like it sucks and like you can't be friends with them. But it's just like, damn. That's the cold part. This is what makes the Push thing so evil. He's the only one telling the truth to him.
They treated him like a kid.
Yeah. It's like when your parents tell you about Santa and all this other stuff, and then, you know, your older brother or sister who get on your nerves come up and like, Santa not real. They really do that. They just don't want to tell you because they want to keep you. And it's just like, yo, you hate me. They love me and they're lying to me. And
you tell the truth.
Yeah. And this is how niggas grow up to be crying on the phone.
Well, he's been doing that for a couple albums now, so
And I don't mean like crying on the phone and that. I'm just talking about like.
I know what you meant, but I was trying to let the joke ride. I feel like we needed Jada Part 2, and this one should be directed at Noah.
Yeah, just like, I mean, why they do this to me, man? Why they treat me this way?
With that being said, ain't no goddamn way I'm listening to a next Drake project if 40 isn't on it. I keep saying it's government. If 40 isn't on, I'm not listening to another Drake project.
I mean, what if we get just Take Heat?
I'm good. It better be 5 songs. That's the most I can stand. I love the Take Keith, Drake collabos. That's 5 songs, my guy. I can't do a 12 album Take Keith or 20 album Take Keith project with him crying on hard beats. That's not gonna fly. She broke my heart like a light. Hey, broke my heart. Hey, I can't do that. We can't do that.
Man.
All the while, 40 is probably like, yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
2 tears in the bucket. Fuck it. You need me. He definitely can't use that to his advantage. You need me, motherfucker.
No, he can't do that. Because
Yes,
he gonna do that. He gonna be like, you need me. They don't come see you. Drake gonna be like, ain't nobody coming to see you, Noah.
Okay. All right, put out your next project.
I mean,
we heard more life. It was a call to playlist. All right, cool.
Okay, let's be fair. Hotline Bling wasn't produced by 40.
No. It actually was, I think. Let me make sure. I think it was 1985 and 40. That's around the time he was doing that on fucking whatever that album was in 2016. Views.
Yeah. Okay, so 40 had a hand in My Feelings, but that was mostly Trap Money Benny.
Yeah, whoever that is.
Big name now.
Yeah, I just heard him say it, and I'm just like, I thought it was a shout out of one of his alternate egos. I thought it was a Jamaican alternate ego or his New Orleans one.
He didn't do Fake Love. He didn't do Portland.
Oh yeah, 1985.
He didn't do Get It Together.
Right. That's my point. I'm like, More Life was a mixtape, whatever you want to call it, and it was like, all right.
The thing is, like, when you go through some of Drake's biggest records, like the hit records, 40 isn't there.
He's not. But can you do a full album with just hit records? Yes, you can at this point for Drake. I answer my own question. Yes, you can at this point for your pop base because that's mostly where you are right now. But still,
But even then, like if he gets on his Ray Shrim thing and is like, okay, my next album's just do his strongest 12 songs, he can do it. You know why? If you're reading This Is Too Late, it's mostly Party and Boy Wonder. And that's the strongest Drake record.
and Quentin Miller writing.
I mean, we're just talking production at this moment.
Oh damn, Devin Booker is playing tonight. I thought he was gonna be out.
And on that note, you know, the 7:30 game starting. It's time to go.
Right, same. I'm ready to make this dinner, so I'm with you. I want to see these two rookies go at each other.
Yeah.
All right, you got to watch song of the week.
I got Wash Movie of the Week.
Okay, and then I'll just do the song.
I'll give you 3 movies because it's gonna be a while before, you know, we're not gonna podcast till next week. So I'll give you 3 movies to watch in that time. First Kid with Sinbad.
Classic.
Watch the very, very first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one that came out in the 70s. It's Halloween. Watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a couple horror movies. Usually I don't watch horror movies not because I'm scared, trust me. It's other things that have scared me in life. But I just I'm gonna watch some horror movies. I want to see that new Purge like we talked about on last episode.
Yeah. So you got First Kid, you got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and let's do a romantic comedy because romantic comedies are good, even though y'all pretend like y'all don't like them. Let's do Sleepless in Seattle.
Good choice. All right. Well, I don't have any movies this week. I will say anything related to visually, the Teen Titans show or the Titans show is not that bad. It's only the first episode. I heard it gets better. It was not that bad. And if it gets better, I'm looking forward to that. But pretty good. I'm gonna keep watching just because I'm a DC guy. I'm trying to hold on. But my watch song of the week is Everything Is Out in the Open by Johnny Taylor.
That's fair.
Everything's out in the open.
It's been episode 18.
Yes, sir. Oh, I got that right. I thought it was 17, so I did it. Got 18. All right.
18. You know, this is a week of the bad guy. No Razor Ramon.
So you say good night to the bad guy.
You really have to do Scarface, huh?
You know how I feel about Scarface.
Yeah, okay, we could talk about that next time because I don't love Scarface the way everyone else fucking loves Scarface.
And I will understand why, but I really love the movie. I've seen it countless times. Maybe I might be a 90s rapper. That's some old head shit. Yeah. Never had a time where everybody had the Scarface leather jackets and going crazy about it.
All I can think when I see that is, man, y'all really let that trash movie inspire y'all?
Okay, so you going there. You going to call it trash. You can't say it's okay or decent.
We'll save it for next time. But yeah, I think Scarface is kind of trash.
Yeah, we definitely talk.
Yeah.
Episode 18, we out here.
Yeah. See y'all next time. More fuckery and shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. Just to let y'all know, we recording before Thursday because Thursday night, Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out.
Yeah.
So when that comes out, first of all, shit is 100 gigs. So I got to get the digital copy. This would be my first digital game because 100 gigs. And I got Spectrum where I stay at. That shit going to take 2 weeks to download.
Yeah.
Until next time, though.
Peace out.